So the operation itself, this I am speaking to you exactly 24 hours after coming back to consciousness after my procedure. I was in at the hospital at 5 a.m. Had a bit of a wait, had a lot of testing, height, weight. They then had to prepare the size of my brace that I'm going to show you in a little while. And yeah, it was everyone was really nice. I was lucky to be at a private hospital because of just the waiting list, so it was forwarded on. Fantastic service. I was very much put at ease. What I liked is maybe it's because I'm a bit of a nerd, but the doctor, well, the consultant, should I say, explained the entire procedure. So he was going to, I'll just show you with my healthier knee, that he was going to essentially drill a hole through this side here. Actually, no, wrong side. I apologize. I'm trying to do it the other way around. So it was through this side here, and it would come through the other side. He would basically cut a part of my hamstring, and then build a graft for that. And then also, he said that my meniscus had fragmented quite a bit, so they were going to flush that out and then rebuild it with another part of my hamstring. So he did go into a lot of graphic detail. I'm not going to be going into the science behind it, only because I don't feel qualified enough to do that. I don't do it for a living. So it was more about understanding as well as I could in terms of the rehabilitation process and how to slowly get back to a time where I'm able to play sport again freely without thinking about getting injured again. And yeah, he was great. And on the day, so what had happened, I went into the to get my anesthetic into my system. I had three types of anesthetic. I had general, so I was entirely knocked out. I had, you can still see it actually. You can see this like yellowy fluid. Yeah, so that's another type of anesthetic, I think, and it is leaking a bit. Isn't the nicest thing in the world. And also something inside my knee as well. But as I said, I don't want to go into the medical aspects in terms of what these things are or their effects, because as I said, I just don't have the expertise for it. But what I can tell you about is how it felt, what happened. So I remember the anaesthetist was quite cool. So he was having a laugh and a joke, then plugged me in. I had an IV drip. I was out cold. I don't remember anything after that. And then I just remember reopening my eyes, based on what the clock said, about 3.5 hours later. When I did first come to consciousness, it was almost like waking up with a really heavy head. And then after that, the more time passed in terms of seconds, I'd say 20-30 seconds in, I started feeling a lot of pain. Pain, not really in my knee as such, but more around kind of the bottom part of my leg and then the top of my thigh, on the operated leg, which was my left leg. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my leg as I speak. And yeah, it was difficult. I think altogether there was almost 10 milligrams of morphine. I tried to reduce, even though everyone tells you, oh, take as much morphine as possible. I didn't want to risk any type of addiction or dependency on it. So yeah, I had as much to reduce the pain, and I just thought I'd power through. I'd like to think my pain threshold's quite good. So yeah, once I'd used the amount I'd needed, I did settle slowly, drank a little bit of water. But yeah, I had a very heavy head. I love to chat and I love to talk. So as I was speaking to the nurse, really cool lady, by the way. Yeah, it was just like the more I spoke, the more I was kind of at it, and things were making sense. About, I'd say 20 minutes later, the surgeon actually came. He said it was really good. I'm guessing he's going to have to say that, right? It's not like he's going to say something negative to me. But he did say that you're needed really well, everything shaped really well, muscle content was good for recovery, which is obviously great to hear. But he did say that, look, you're going to be getting a knee brace that's going to be tailored to you, which I'm going to show you now. Make sure you're well, weirdly, even though it's quite a big operation in that sense, the doctors really recommend moving a lot, testing it out. Start with moving your toes and then your foot, and yeah, you just have to put your body through a little bit of pain so it doesn't settle with all the safety equipment all around it. And you've got to get yourself out of that comfort zone, because in day-to-day life, your feet and your legs aren't always doing the most careful lateral movements. You've got to put it through its paces. So it starts from straight away, really. And yeah, I'm just going to show you what the brace looks like now. This isn't some kind of attractive video here, so I'm just going to show you. As you can see, here's my thigh, and as I said, here's this yellowy fluid that's swollen up my leg a little bit. Now this is why I look like a transformer at the moment. I've got some locks on either side. Sorry, trying to do this correctly. I've got some locks on either side of my knee. They are both set, so sorry, I'll come back to my face here. They're set so the first 4 weeks for me, I'm allowed a maximum of 70 degrees of flexion, so not quite 90 degrees. And then he said that I should aim for 90 after about 8 weeks or so, so we're looking at about 2 months. And it's set at 0 degrees extension. So as you know, with your leg, you can have it straight, but sometimes you can just push it out a little bit. I'm not capable of that yet. I will be, hopefully. And I'll just show you. I'll just continue to show you. So we're coming nearer the end of the foot here. As you can see, this is absolutely huge, hence why it's so much bigger than the rest of my leg. It does feel like the numbness is here, that he did warn about the anesthesia, but also feel like it's because this is so firmly built that the blood supply is a little bit, I'm not going to say cut off, but it's really squeezed compared to the rest of my body. And then yeah, feet are fine, lots of rotations, lots of just pushing my leg forward, standing, kind of tensing my calf around here by flattening my foot, just constantly doing that all day to make sure that I've got enough movement constantly going on to improve the blood flow. Right leg's absolutely fine. Sorry, my room's a mess in the background. Tidying's the last thing on my mind at the moment. So yeah, this is the contraption I've been given. As I said, for 6 weeks it's going to be maximum 70 degrees. What I will say is that I felt very, very nauseated, kind of straight after the operation. Like I said, my head was banging, but the moment I did eat, it did really settle. But I thought I'd take my laptop with me so I could watch some Netflix and stuff, but I was just obsessed with this machine on my leg, basically. So I was just playing around with my leg the whole time, seeing what I could do, what hurt, what didn't. So it hurts when I try and lift my leg from my thigh, but it doesn't hurt when I move my feet around or anything like that. It actually feels very solid. So yeah, just to go back again. So as you can see, there's a lot of bandaging here. Like when I feel it, I can't feel anything close to my knee. So after 24 hours, I have to remove that, but nearer 48. So my operation was yesterday morning. I'm going to be taking it off tonight. Yeah, that's what I've got to deal with. I've got a set of crutches over there. So the hospital were fantastic, explaining how to go up staircases, how to come back down staircases, how to get out and about, how to sit down safely. Please, please, please learn how to do those things safely. I am doing this so I can play again and I can be active again, so I cannot afford to damage myself in any way during this initial recovery process, and I don't want to slow that process down. So yeah, that's my priority for the next few weeks. I'm signed off of work, of all work. I work for an airline, so I work in their head office doing some kind of commercial stuff. I've been signed off for 2 weeks because I'm on a course of 3 drugs. I'm on ibuprofen, cocodamol, and paracetamol. They have said that that clouds your decision making. Anything contract based, anything decision based are things that I shouldn't do. So that's actually exactly what I do for my job. So there's no way I'd be able to be involved with that. They then did say that with this brace on, I can start to work from home after 2 weeks, but I have to slowly phase my way back in, which I will look to do because I'm actually going into a new job in the team. So it's come at a really awkward time because I'm almost like starting without without being able to physically be in the office, which isn't ideal. Anyway, I'm sure you don't care about that. The point is, how do I feel? While sleeping, I went to bed at about 12:30. I woke up again. I slept for 4.5 hours straight on a straight leg. It was very difficult for me because I sleep on my front with my head to the side. So it wasn't ideal, but I did manage to sleep for that amount of time. Then I got another 3 or 4 hours kind of drifting in, drifting out. But I do feel okay in that sense. Oh, one thing I didn't mention actually. So after the operation, because obviously the anesthetic's still in my system, my goodness, the drive home, which was at about 7 p.m, so about 7 hours after they'd finished the surgery, as more and more time passed, I felt really, really nauseous and just felt like vomiting. And I vomited like crazy on the side of the road, just sticking my head out. I'm sorry for the graphic detail, but everything I ate in that meal I told you kind of helped me come back to consciousness. Everything came out, but I did read up on the fact that nausea and vomiting are very common after a heavy anesthetic, especially general. No, but weirdly, vomiting really, really helped. I felt relieved, I felt clear, and I haven't felt anything like that since. I had a great meal afterwards. I just had some fish, some beans, trying to be healthy, trying to avoid getting fat while sitting around at home. It's a problem for me because I love to eat, so I don't know how I'm going to maintain that. I've decided I'm not going to have as many carbs, although I am told that the cocodamol can cause constipation, so I should have a lot of fiber. So I have some bran flakes without milk in the morning. That's what I've decided anyway. Obviously we're only on day 1. I'm sure you'll see my face like out here by the time day 10 or something comes along. But no, I'm cool. After sleeping, a lot more movement. I can't bend it yet really, but sitting around like this, I can kind of bend it this much and come back and then bend it again, and then I've just been told to keep doing stuff like that, so the kind of give that your knee has improves day by day. So yeah, that's what I know and feel and have learnt so far. Long way to go, and I'll keep you on my journey. Thank you.